options we have to animate this little face here. Now, so we can select this image and move it if we want. So it's still anchored to that top right corner. And here's something cool. So watch, when I change the size of the screen, it's always going to be anchored in that top right corner. Now you can experiment and move the image around there, even though the anchor stayed up in the top corner, and you'll see that it's a little not completely in the corner, but it's towards, you know, it's every screen size is going to treat it different. This is like high def, like you can see how the ratio of pixels there. And okay, so there it is, and you could resize it if you want, but I'm going to leave them like this. And so we're going to make a new folder, and I'm going to go back to assets, and I'm going to control click and say create folder, and we're going to create an animations folder. Animations. Okay, and now we're going to, now if I double click, I'm inside there. So on the image, okay, this can get complex, but I'm going to try to explain it. An animation of anything, this object here could have a bunch of different animations. You can have an animation that makes them smile, that makes them, a different one that makes them frown, one that makes them laugh, and those are all different animations. And then you have to put those animations in some kind of like animation container or something, and they call it an animator controller. So we're going to add a component here called the, if you click the add component, you're going to type in animator, not animation, animator. Okay, so there's three parts to it. This animator component, and then you need to have it, has to have its own controller. And we're going to make that real easily right now. It's actually very easy. So you're going to say, you're going to right click here in the animations folder, and you're going to say create animator controller. You see how it goes with that window over there? It goes with this right here, animator controller. Okay, and then we're going to call this face one dash controller. Okay, we're just trying to stay organized. You could probably name it something else, but just stay organized. So it's face one. I didn't even mean to put an S, but I did on accident. So we're going to go image here, and then we are going to drag this controller into that slot. So at first, if we click animator, you'll see there is no animator attached to this animation. How did I get that animator window? It was just there. So if you don't have it, you can look for it by go animator and then drag it up here if you want it to be in the same place as mine. So go back to scene one. I've got this guy selected, and then I am going to drag this face controller into there. Now when I go back to animator, you'll see that it has this animator, and it has an entry point and then any state, and we'll get into that in a sec. But the first thing we're going to do is we have this guy selected, and if we have the animation window open, you can create an animation and it'll appear right here. If I hit create, it'll appear here. Let's try that. You could have right clicked here and created a state, but I'm going to hit, so this animation window, if you don't have that, go window, animation, and hit this one right here, and this animation window will pop up, and you could drag these tabs wherever you want. Mine's right here, I like it right there. And so I'm going to hit create, and I'm going to call this face animation one, okay? And it's going into this animations folder, okay? So I hit save, and it should appear here. So my face animation, and now there's nothing here yet. And you'll see that it appeared in this window, this animation state. It says it up there. Okay, so let's click this guy, and we have this, we have our image selected, and now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add the graphics in here. So we're gonna go back to the graphics folder. Now it deselected our face image, so I have to select it again. And I am going to select all of these and drag them right into this window. And it just put them in there. And now look, when I drag the mouse back and forth, see how he's animating? Now this right here is set at 60 frames per second. So he's gonna go so fast. You don't want that. it's only 5 frames, so I'm going to actually go 5 frames per second. Let's see what that looks like. It stretches it out. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna say for the end of this tutorial right now, because we're gonna have to write some code to like make this button control it and stuff like that. For right now, just set this in the middle where his eyes are starting to close, and take a screenshot of this, and that's what you turn in for the assignment, and then we'll move on from there. Okay? Go ahead and have fun creating your very first animation. Have fun.